Alright, so one way to store your rope is to coil it. Instead of coiling, when you take a coil, every time you throw a coil in, if you're doing circles, you're putting a twist in the rope. So you're putting a number of twists in. So we get a lot of twists. So when you go to uncoil it, it can get pretty annoying trying to deal with all the twists. So rather than coiling the rope at the end, one way to do it is to butterfly the rope. And so what we're doing is basically we're just going to go back and forth across a top point. All right. Now I've got 120 foot of rope, so instead of working with 120, if I match the two ends, if I double the rope over, now I only have 60 foot of rope that I have to coil or butterfly. Okay. So to do that, what I'm going to do to start with my butterfly is at the end of my butterfly, once I have it butterflied, I am going to wrap it off and then kind of tie it off so it's all compact. So at the end, I'm going to need enough rope to do some coils and a couple of like a gasket hitch and a daisy chain. So I'm going to collect that first. My measurements for me is I get about 12 foot of rope. So I'm going to get 2 arm extensions worth of rope. So here's that I'll deal with at the other side after I get my butterfly going. For the butterfly, what I'm going to do is I got to keep this top point here. I'm going to take the same measurement each time. Now again, the tail's going off this way, so this is where all my rope is at. So I am going to take a measurement, and now instead of going around to do a coil, what I am doing is I am going to lay it here. So you can see it comes down and back up to my hand here. All right? Now my next measurement, as I come back, because I'm coming off of this side, as I come back, I'm going to lay the rope over that way. So I lay it over the top. So again, I'm never doing a full circle, full loop. We're just going to go back and forth. Go across and come back. Go from this side over to the other side. See how I'm keeping it open? So that's the butterfly, which are, say, 2 wings. Now, depending on how much rope you have, how big your hands are, how thick your rope is, the diameter determines how much you can hold up here. So you might try some other ones, and I'll show you a different one. Now when we get to the last loop, instead of letting this hang down, I am just going to even these 2 sides so they hang about even, because I'm going to wrap here now. Okay, so there's the butterfly. You can see it's not connected here. Now I'm going to take this the tail end that I pulled off first, and I'm going to do some wraps around. So I'm going to catch all of these loops coming around, and I'm going to snug it every time I go around. As I wrap around, I'm moving up towards the top. So I take about 3, and again, you can see I snug it. You don't want to lose the top side of your butterfly here. Okay, so once I have that, I'm going to take a bight and I'm going to stick it through here, through the top coil. Now to do this, there's a lot of weight to deal with, so what I will do is I'll flip these and hold those between my legs. Now I can send my bight through. With the bight, I don't want to pull the ends through because that's going to form a knot, so I won't do that till the very end. But I get this first bight through, I'm going to bring it down over the top, all right, and slide it down and snug it. That forms a gasket hitch. That locks this in pretty nice. Once we form the gasket hitch, I'm going to send another bight through, and then I'm going to bring it to the top, and then I'm going to do a daisy chain. And again, daisy chain, all I'm doing is I'm passing loops through. So holding it between my legs, I take another bight through, bring it up over the top now. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to send a bight through, bring it up. Send a bight through, bring it up. Bight through, bring it up. Now as I get close to the end of these tails, that's when I'll send those through. So that's forming the knot, and that finishes the daisy chain. Okay? Now, if you're handling it, that daisy can slip out. So what I do is I take that last bight and I roll it down over that knuckle, if you will. Kind of like a gasket hitch that we did down here. That then locks this end in pretty good. And now I can store my rope, I can hang it on a hook, I can carry it around, but locking it off with that and the gasket hitch will keep the rope a little more tighty for you as you're moving and transporting and that sort of thing. If you don't do that, they'll just be a little bit looser, but if you're not messing with it, it's not going to come unraveled. It'll probably be fine. But that is the butterfly. When you go to open up your butterflied rope, again, I pull that last daisy bight down to give it kind of a gasket hitch. So I'm going to roll that back up, pull my ends out, and with the daisy chain, everything slips out, so there are no knots. I locked it with a gasket hitch, so I'm going to loosen this up. I bring it back over the top, and then it's going to pull out. Then I unwrap. There's my butterfly, right? Now this puts a lot of bends up here, okay? So we want to lay this out. We want to set it out. So when I lay it down on the ground, I am going to unfold it and let it lay flat like that. Then I'm going to have a lot fewer bends, which reduces the potential for getting tangles and such. If I run to the end of my line, if you are one who likes to distinguish between your ends, you've got the ends you want to use to send up through. But anyhow, a butterfly is a pretty nice way to keep your rope compact for transport, storage, and that sort of thing.